Yeah, look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to my series on the best budget knife sharpening systems. I'm Dan, you're watching Guns and Guitars, and this channel is just all about having the most amount of fun for the least amount of money. And today we're going to be looking at the Lansky Turnbox sharpening system. Now, I love the system for a few reasons. Of course, it's affordable. That's why it's on my best budget list at just 19 bucks. This is a solid investment. It's very fast, it's very convenient, and it really lends itself well to longer fixed blade knives such as kitchen knives. So if you like your kitchen knives to have a razor sharp edge all the time, you might want to consider investing in one of these, and I'm going to show you how to get those perfect results every time. Now, before I show you how to use this thing, I do want to mention that the Lansky multi-angle sharpening system is still hands down my favorite and most used sharpening method. You just can't get better results than you can with this method right here. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out that video up over there. But the biggest drawback of that system is that it is very time consuming, especially for longer fixed blade knives, because you essentially have to sharpen the knife twice in order to get perfect results. So that's why I'm going to show you this method. This method is excellent, especially for kitchen knives, because of how fast and convenient it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Inside this little box, we've got 4 different hones, okay? We've got medium and fine grit, and then you see here we've got some preset angles again. We got 20 degree and 25 degree. Now, like I said, I like to profile all my blades for 20 degrees for my own personal preference. So we'll go ahead and start on that side with these medium diamond rods. The way this sharpener works is instead of dragging the stone across the blade like we were before, or dragging the blade across the stone, we're actually going to start at the very top, and keeping our knife as straight up and down as possible, we are just going to drag it along this hone. And we're going to do that. As you can see, this is much more conducive to a longer blade. And we're going to do that again until we work up that little bit of a burr. Now, this is still pretty foolproof, but it's a little less foolproof in that if your angle is a little bit off or inconsistent, then you're going to end up with that issue that I talked about on the drawing board of ending up actually convexing the top of your apex, and you don't want that. So you really want to make sure that you are being as consistent as possible, and holding straight up and down is pretty easy to do. Just make sure you don't veer off course too much, right? All right, and I've got a little bit of a burst, so I'll go to this other side now, and again, holding it as straight up and down as possible. I'll move down here so you can see better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to alternate. And again, we're not using much force at all. We're going to try our best to draw out the full length of the blade. All right, we've got a pretty decent burr going. Now we'll go ahead and stick in our fine grit rods, and we'll do the same thing. That's good. Now, as with any other sharpening method, the last step is always to strop your knife on a leather strop, and that's what takes you from a sharp edge to a wicked sharp edge. All right, so you can see it's not quite as refined of an edge, but it should be pretty hair popping sharp. Let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, look at that. Plenty hair shaving sharp. That's going to go through your tomatoes and bell peppers and steaks and fats and things like that. No problem. Now, as cheap and as easy as that just was, like I said, it's less foolproof. You do have to make sure you are maintaining that perfect vertical angle. It's also less safe. If you're not holding correctly, you can come down on your finger really easily, right? There goes my thumb. And lastly, it's just not as versatile, okay? You can't do a serrated blade on this, and I will show you how to do serrated blades in the future, but these rods are way too big to do a serrated blade. And you also can't use this to reprofile to a different blade angle. Like if I decided that I wanted to go to 25 degrees on these medium grit stones, it's gonna take me an awful long time to get a good profiled bevel. But this thing is just so compact and convenient. You can store it in your drawer next to where you store your kitchen knives or next to your knife block. And then after you're done cutting for the day, you wash, you dry your knife, you run it across your hones a couple of times, you run it across your strop a couple of times, and then you stick it in your knife block and you know that you're gonna have a razor hair splitting edge the next time that you need it. There's still one big drawback to these, and that's that they're just not convenient to haul around with you everywhere, okay? If you're going on a backpacking trip, you don't wanna bring a big clunky, heavy system like this that's gonna take up a lot of room in your backpack and add a lot of unnecessary weight. So if you're going camping or backpacking a lot and you want a more lightweight and portable option, you definitely need to check out this little tool right here. It's super cheap. It comes in at just like $8 and it's absolutely awesome for touching up your blades on the go. So if you're interested in seeing this little guy and how to use him to get a razor sharp edge on the go, definitely watch that video. It's gonna be available next week, and subscribe because I got more knife content coming up, like how to sharpen serrated edges, best budget everyday carry knives, stuff like that. I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars, and I'll see you in that next video.